Yo, Dave, why have
What's
you
up?
right away? You turn this episode into a cops situation. What are you doing?
Well, listen. I'm at well, whatever. I'm at the rehab facility for my dad. We just had a family meeting, and I'm trying.
Oh, how is it? Oh my gosh, why are we interrupting something like that? How's he doing?
No, I was supposed to be done. It was supposed to be done at 11. It took a little longer, so I'm just walking out to my car.
All right. Well, look, is he okay?
He's good. He's good. Maintaining.
He's maintaining.
What does Adam have in the background? It's like a professional studio. I got to step it up.
Oh, Adam, I gave you that. Adam, we can't hear you. Maybe that's good. Unmute your mic, you idiot. Adam.
There, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I think I gave you that.
Just for you, I put it here. Look, we got to show some respect for Philly, right?
That was before I got sober. I probably owed you money and gave you that instead. So,
I mean, look, we want to show. I don't want to get beat up the next time I go to Philly. You know, it's all good.
So Adam, let's start with you. First of all, sit up a little bit.
I'm up.
There you go. Because we got a graphic for you at the bottom. There you go.
You spelled my name wrong, you idiot.
Did I? That's my fault. That's my fault. How do you spell it?
Why?
Oh, Williamowsky. Oh, well. Sorry. You can make him just Adam if you want, Scotty. That was my fault. All right, Adam, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts about the game yesterday? 4 turnovers. You guys can't turn it over 4 times and expect to beat the Eagles.
I mean, look, you guys got a great team. No denying that. It was just tough. You know, look, we had a great run. I think you look forward. You don't look back. Like, what were we, 4-12 last year? Nobody, not even degenerate Matt here, who probably bet his whole life savings on them going to the Super Bowl, would have imagined us going this far. So, you know, look, I'll take it after. I mean, look, we all saw the article on ESPN with Dan Snyder, and the Washington Post wrote one too. So after the misery we've lived through for the last 20 plus years, like, I'll take this all day and night. The future looks bright. Like you said, you can't turn the ball over in a championship game, but you know what? It is what it is. Great season, great run. Future's bright. What did you?
How many alcoholic
did you say to
drinks did you have yesterday? Hold on, Adam. Matt, how many alcoholic drinks did you have yesterday?
6 to 8, something like that.
It was a 6-point spread. You went over. All right, so Matt, David, you are. Let's get inside the mind of a real football guy here. Out of the 3 of us, I really feel like it's more in your DNA than me or even Wilmo. Why didn't the Commanders win yesterday?
Well, you talked about it earlier. It's the turnovers. That was their recipe for success in these playoffs. Is they didn't turn the ball over, and they had long sustained drives. I mean, Tress Way is one of the best punters in the league, and he hasn't punted. I think he punted 1 time up until yesterday. So they've done a lot of ball control. From looking at it from a numbers standpoint, I think the number went off at 46.5. It actually went down from 47.5 to 46.5 as far as the total in the game. And I'm thinking to myself, Vegas must think that the Redskins must control the clock, control the possession, and make this game real slow in order for them to be in it. And obviously they didn't do that, and the turnovers were a key part of it. You know, you just got to protect the football, and you know they kind of built on one another as far as you give up a turnover, then you get kickoff, and McNichols fumbles it right back. I mean, it's terrible the way it started for them with Saquon going for 60. You know, it's tough to come back from.
Adam, your wife is absolutely beautiful. I saw her this morning. When we did a FaceTime. How have you maintained that relationship for this long? She's an earner too. I got to hear this.
How'd you get from my house in Bethesda back to Texas so quickly? I didn't see you here. I mean,
FaceTime. No, really, Adam. You watched the game yesterday. I did see Jackie this morning when we did a quick FaceTime. That was really
By the way, Pete, Aaron's going to be very upset.
Why? We know Aaron's beautiful. I didn't beat Jackie in too long. Please, Erin was probably one of the most beautiful girls in our class. And now it was, I mean, come on. And we don't know how you pulled that. Nobody does. But back to you, Adam, someone who's a little less familiar to the folks in the show here. Jackie is unbelievable. How do you hang on to Jackie for all these years? Really, serious question.
I mean, I don't hang on to her. She hangs on to me. I mean, look. Look what you got here, man. Gray beard, Sixers jersey behind me. I'm eating Wheaties from a 1992 Redskins Wheaties box. I mean, what does she see in me? I don't know.
By the way, you do look unbelievable. And yesterday, I thought that Jaden looked unbelievable too. The question I have now is, let's give this to you, Adam. What's your expectation going forward for the Commanders next year? Because I always go back to my Dan Marino theory. When Dan Marino was in that Super Bowl, they played it in Northern California, and they lost to the 49ers. I was like, he'll be back 5 times over. Guy never made it back to a Super Bowl again. When you're in these elite moments and you're right there, I think it's so important to kind of seize the day. Obviously, you guys couldn't do it yesterday. So what's your expectation next year?
I mean, look, so I think my expectation is with all 4 teams that were in the championship yesterday. And early in the game, look, Jaden Daniels is going to be a great quarterback. I mean, you look at some of his throws, just past fingertips, threading the needle to the wide receiver. He made some great throws. He's going to learn. He'll be great. I truly believe that. But what I think even bigger, and I think this is where they showed a stat at the beginning of the game, the Chiefs, the Redskins, and the Chiefs, Redskins, and Eagles were the top 3 teams in the league with the number of drives more than 15 plays. And then after the game, I don't know if it was Saquon or Jalen said, well, who said you can't win Super Bowls just running the ball down their throat anymore? And the game of football going all the way to youth and high school and college is all about shotgun, run and gun, throw. I mean, I think it's bigger than just what the future of the Redskins looks like. Because like the real fans, Sousa, still call them the Redskins. Davis over there, let the grizzly bear call them the Commanders all day and night. But I think it's back to old school football. I think that is what the yin and the yang of Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels is going to be. You have a very capable commander of the game. Someone that's able to lead. You don't have to win the game. Don't lose the game. And I think Jaden Daniels is that good and is going to learn like Jalen Hurts has. I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes is at a different level, but he knows how to command that game and be the field general. And I think moving forward, I think it's going to be done a lot more with running than what we've seen the last 5-10 years of just pass happy.
Wilma, I think that's a really good point. And I want to move it over to Davis because I agree with Adam. Like, even when people were talking about the Eagles, like they don't make enough explosive plays, but they've hit home runs now the past 2 games with Saquon Barkley and big running touchdowns in these playoff games. Do you think, Davis, overall the trend is moving back towards like running the football, playing good defense? If the Eagles can win in the Super Bowl, I think we'll all be feeling that. And it's a copycat league. More teams will probably try to move back towards doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that ball control running it's based on that dual threat quarterback too. All those teams that Adam mentions all have dual threat quarterbacks. So, I mean, I think that makes it a big deal. One other thing I wanted to say, Pete, was when you get bigger than McAfee and we kind of work this, I want to be the AJ Hawk of the Pete Sousa show. Adam's got to
work on your jawline first.
Okay. No, but one of the things that
could you imagine Davis with a ponytail like AJ Hawk? What would he look like?
Davis is a handsome guy. I like his beard. I've told him that.
One thing that I was thinking of is that for the first time in 30 plus years, the Washington Redskins are a place that people want to go to because of Jaden Daniels. In the past, we've gotten guys, but you had to pay them. They're coming here for a payday. Now people legitimately may want to come here to win a Super Bowl or to go to the playoffs, to play with a young, a receiver playing with a quarterback or any position on the football field. But I think that we're now a destination for these guys, these free agents to come in and win a potential Super Bowl.
I mean, Sousa, so I got a question for you, right? Like, so the Redskins have the 3rd most salary cap space next year. Are your Philly people going to run Josh Harris out of town and make him sell the Sixers?
Josh Harris sucks. And I'll tell you what,
oh my God,
I'm going to do is let him come into Lincoln Financial Field and beat us because honestly, Adam, nobody likes the Sixers, really. I mean, people will root for them if they get into the playoffs, but the Sixers organization is not extremely popular in the Philadelphia area. That's just my pulse on them.
But it's not ownership's fault that Joel Embiid can't stay healthy. He's always hurt. They signed Paul.
Look, I'm not denying what Josh Harris has done in Washington. It's amazing. It is. But I want to switch with you guys to someone we know, okay? because I was talking to my man here, our producer, Scotty, about the biggest matchup in this game. I feel like the Super Bowl is going to be the Eagles offensive line against the Chiefs front seven, which brings Joe Cullen into the conversation. What is Joe Cullen, Davis? Let's start with you. Tell him the Kansas City Chiefs, our defensive line coach at the University of Richmond. What is Coach Cullen? Was he ever defensive coordinator?
Yeah,
he was.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Not at Richmond, but in the NFL, he was for for Urban Meyer for 1 year.
Yeah, Cullen's the man. Amazing coach. What's he telling Chris Jones and the guys, Davis?
It's amazing to me that Chris Jones is probably the best defensive lineman in the league, arguably number one defensive lineman in the league. And you see a big play being made when Josh Allen gets the first down and they don't call it a first down. But who does Chris Jones go directly to but Joe Cullen? And yet that shows you the impact that he has on the best defensive lineman in the league, that probably has the right to be, a little bit full of himself, doesn't need to talk to his coach, doesn't need to celebrate with his coach, but he does. I just think that, it comes back to that dual threat quarterback. And Jalen Hurts sure looked healthy on Sunday. We were hoping as Redskins Commanders fans that his knee was a little banged up, hearing that he was going to wear a knee brace and all that stuff. So I think, to keep Saquon as contained as possible, which is hard to do. But get them inside the tackles and play really rough, get off football like Joe Cullen likes to do.
Matt, you bring up an interesting point. This question's for both of you. Is Mark Megna jealous of Chris Jones? Because
Chris Jones only has 6 inches on Megna. I think Chris Jones is like 6'6" or something. He's a huge.
Matt Boyce and Mark Megna were both guys who would tell you themselves they probably didn't belong in the NFL, but ended up there because of Joe Cullen and his connection with them and his coaching. And now you see Joe Cullen coaching a guy like Chris Jones with some little more ability than those two, and he's turned him into one of the best players in the entire league.
I've just never – look, I love the guy. Joe Cullen is the greatest. He would get anyone to do anything, just his ability to get these guys ready for a game with Spagnuolo. I don't remember it, Davis, you may, but the complexity of their blitzes that they were showing yesterday in the game and the stunts that the linemen are doing and stuff. It's not just about, yes, it's about the physical nature of these guys because they're specimens, their speed and strength, but the complexity of their scheme, it's going to be, look, if what's his name, Juergens can't play center, we saw what was going down with the backup yesterday, who hadn't played center since Alabama and so forth. Look, I think Cullen's going to have them ready to come out of a cannon. It's the Super Bowl. You're going to be ready, but he may jump out there and throw a helmet on and suit up for a play.
All right, Davis, look, I want to, I know it's been a while since you've talked to Coach Reed, so we're going to bring him on now, and you guys can you're going to make amends. Coach Reed, come on. No, I'm kidding. Davis, when's the last time you talked to Coach Reed? Is there still a little bit of tension between the two of you?
No, there's never tension. Never tension. I don't know what you're speaking of. He reached out to me on my birthday on Facebook. I haven't talked to him in a while. I talked to him last year when Adam and I went back for the reunion. I guess, what was it, 20-year reunion, 25-year reunion?
Yeah, it was 20 years since 98.
Look,
yeah,
I'll tell you,
25.
I was out at Davis knows Sousa, but I'm a mentor. I don't know why anyone would want my advice at University of Maryland. Great guy, Alex Moore, freshman safety from the area here. And so I'm out there watching practice, having dinner, and Ron Zook.
It's called being part of a collective, by the way. Go ahead. Not a mentor.
I don't give any money.
It's a mentorship program at University of Maryland.
And Ron Zook is helping out at Maryland. Coach, somehow I introduced myself to Zook, and next thing you know, Ron Zook, Mike Loxley, Joe Cullen, and myself are on a FaceTime from the University of Maryland dining hall. Literally, I send Cullen a text message of me and Zook, and 2 seconds later he calls. He's like, "Let me talk to that guy." He's like, "What are you doing with him?" And it's just you look at lifelong mentorships, the guy's the greatest. He's just.
It's amazing. We're very fortunate. Even me as someone who didn't sniff the field because of injury, but I was around. Like the relationships we have, that's a concern now. Some of the college basketball I do, particularly in college football, like there's not the connection that we have with our coaching staff, with a lot of these players, because there's just such a rotation of they're going from school to school, and it's good for the guys who are getting paid, but it's a lot different now.
But now the coaches, the Ohio State defensive coordinator took an extra $500,000 to go to Penn State. So now it looks like it's not just the players, it might be the coaches too.
Has anybody talked to Jeff Hansen recently?
I have not. I probably
you gotta call him.
I'll call him.
Frank Leonard.
Matt Janney stays in close contact with him. And I talk to Janney a lot, but I've reached out to him a few times by text message, but I need to go down to Richmond and have lunch with him.
I'll never forget. Like, I love Coach Hansen.
Has Fowler seen him, Davis? Does Fowler see him when he's down there?
Coach Hansen doesn't make it to Richmond at all anymore. So
why not? Matt, why not? Do you know why?
No, I mean, he just when he left there the last time, I don't think it was on the best of terms, and I don't think that he goes to the university campus.
One more rapid fire Richmond question. So Christy, who you've met, Matt, my wonderful other half, her daughter's looking at colleges. So I emailed Winston. I was like, to have her, trying to give her a leg up as far as going to the University of Richmond and stuff. And Winston never got back to me. And I was like, what's up, Winston? Like he usually gets right back. Turns out he takes the job at William & Mary. Like so Winston October is now going back to William & Mary, or what's going on there?
I mean, I talked to him. Davis, you talked to him. Go ahead, Matt. Is he frozen?
Frozen, dude. All right.
So Winston's the greatest guy. Look, Mike London, I think, was a mentor to him. Mike coached us, the coach at William & Mary, who was, Mike was Richmond, UVA, Maryland, Howard. Now he's like kind of, made his mark at William & Mary, and him and Winston were close, and he made him an offer to coach the offense there. I don't know anything else of why. I went to 2 games this year. Winston did a great job. Players loved him. Winston's got a great family, 2 beautiful girls. And, he went to Richmond. So look, other than 1 game of the year, which Richmond is still going to play William & Mary every year, despite, they're still going to play them. And rumor has it William & Mary would have made the switch, but they won't take them for basketball in the Patriots. Really? They don't want any more basketball teams. And Richmond has the A-10. Rumor has it Villanova might be next for football only because they have the Big East. But, I mean, you shake your head, but.
That's just I think that is you're going to lose money. I don't know. That stuff's beyond me. I've always wanted to see Villanova compete at a Division I level with football. I mean, look, I got my Villanova stuff on right now, but as far as a fan,
you just said something.
Bonehead fan. Let's figure out what's going on the basketball court.
You just said something very, very important here. You're going to be a grandfather soon? You have a girlfriend that has like a 17 or 18-year-old?
Any parting words? I kind of like Davis when he was frozen. That's like the best version of him. And anything else, Adam, before we leave?
No, I just love you, man. Let's do this anytime. Lawrence Taylor. Who's that with Lawrence Taylor behind you?
Has to know. For people who don't know, Adam Williamowsky, let's take a moment here. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to call, games play-by-play on major levels, right? Working for ESPN. I just finished doing another Big 12 game this weekend. Adam is the reason I got into play-by-play. Adam literally went to the student radio station at the University of Richmond. Back in the day, it was like just a total potluck thing, like who was going to call the game. You went to the student station, got the equipment, and we had possession of it. So we were now to call the games.
I mean, the greatest highlight ever, Sousa, was, and you mentioned it earlier on this call, was what's the future look like? You told AJ Guyton he needs to play with sunglasses because his future's so bright. In front of Bob Knight, when Richmond went to the March Madness here in DC, and Pete we went to Chapel Hill, we went to Wake Forest. I mean, it was 2 or 3 years we did it. I can't remember, but we had
3 years. But you're talking about, we went to the MCI Center for the first and second round. My credit card was not maxed out yet, so I went to the club lounge and I was drinking vodka like between all the games. And then so I go down to the press area and I'm like firing off questions to Bobby Knight. He's kind of shutting me down. And then I did not. You talked me out of it. I wanted to tell AJ Guyton how good I thought he was. And you quickly ushered me out of the locker room and saved me from myself. So I appreciate you for that.
Come up here. When are you going to do a game in our neck of the woods?
I don't know, man. They keep sending me out west, so we'll find out. All right, Davis, anything left? Me and Wilmo agreed. We kind of like you frozen, but we got to wrap this up. Anything else from you, Matt? No, that's it. Okay.
You got nothing to say.
All right. Shout out to Barry Davis. This segment's dedicated to him. We love you, Barry.
Thank you.
All right, Matt, Adam, thank you guys so much. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Adam and Matt, you can't beat a segment like that. Very lucky to have those guys in my life. All right, the Pete Souza Show will continue tomorrow. We will have more for you on all things sports. I can't tell you we'll have colorful guests like that, but we'll do our best. In the meantime, have a great 23 hours. We'll see you tomorrow.